Did you know that your body might be sending you quiet warnings about your memory long before you notice any serious problems? Imagine sitting down with your family, sharing stories, or enjoying your favorite hobbies, only to realize one day that those precious memories are starting to slip away. It's a fear many people have as they age, especially after 70, and the truth is, memory loss doesn't always happen suddenly. Your body often gives you subtle signs months or even years before serious cognitive decline sets in. The problem is, most people miss these clues because they seem small or unrelated to memory at first. But by the time the signs become obvious, it's often too late to act. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 signs your body gives you before memory loss, after 70. These are not random guesses. They're backed by research and patterns doctors have observed in people who later develop memory issues. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why these signs matter, and most importantly, what you can do to catch them early and protect your brain. Stay with me until the very end, because the last sign is one that almost everyone overlooks, and it could be the key to keeping your mind sharp for years to come. If you're ready to take control of your brain health, let's get started. The first sign your body might be giving you is trouble with multitasking. Remember when you could juggle multiple tasks without breaking a sweat? Cooking dinner, talking on the phone, and keeping an eye on the kids all at once? After 70, you might notice that handling more than one task at a time feels harder than it used to. Maybe you're trying to follow a recipe and answer a question, and suddenly you lose track of what you were doing. Or perhaps you're driving and find it tough to focus on the road while listening to the radio. This isn't just a normal part of aging, it could be an early warning of memory trouble. Studies show that the ability to multitask relies on your brain's executive function, which is one of the first areas affected in cognitive decline. Think about someone like Barbara, a 72-year-old who used to pride herself on managing her busy schedule. Lately, she's noticed she gets flustered when she tries to pay bills while talking to her daughter. She brushes it off, thinking she's just tired, but what she doesn't realize is that her brain is struggling to switch between tasks, a sign that memory networks are starting to weaken. Compare that to her friend Carol, also 72, who still handles multiple tasks with ease because she keeps her brain active with puzzles and new hobbies. The difference is clear. Barbara's trouble with multitasking is a signal her brain needs attention. Here's what's happening. Your brain relies on strong connections between neurons to process multiple tasks at once. When those connections start to weaken, it's harder to keep everything straight, and this can be an early red flag for memory loss. The good news? You can strengthen your brain's ability to multitask. Try simple exercises like listening to a podcast while doing a light chore, or playing memory games that challenge you to focus on 2 things at once. If you're noticing trouble juggling tasks, don't ignore it. It's time to act. If you're still watching and finding this valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Let's move on. The second sign is difficulty finding the right words. Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation and suddenly the word you're looking for just won't come to mind? Maybe you're trying to describe a movie you watched or name a familiar object, but you end up saying that thing or pausing awkwardly. After 70, occasional word-finding struggles are normal, but if it's happening more often or feels frustrating, it could be a warning sign of memory issues. Research shows that difficulty retrieving words is linked to early changes in the brain's language centers, which can precede more serious cognitive decline. Let's look at 2 people. George, a 74-year-old who's started stumbling over words during conversations, and Linda, also 74, who speaks confidently without hesitation. George notices he often can't recall names or specific terms, like the title of a book he just read. He laughs it off as a senior moment, but deep down, it bothers him. What he doesn't know is that his brain is struggling to access its language network, a potential early indicator of memory loss. Linda, on the other hand, keeps her mind sharp by reading, doing crosswords, and chatting with friends daily. Her word recall is quick, and she feels confident in conversations. The difference comes down to brain activity. When you struggle to find words, it's a sign that the connections between your brain's language and memory centers are weakening. This doesn't mean you're doomed. It means your brain needs stimulation. Try activities like reading aloud, writing in a journal, or playing word games like Scrabble to boost your language skills. If you're noticing more tip-of-the-tongue moments than usual, don't brush them off. Start challenging your brain today. Comment number 2 below to let me know you're still with me, and let's keep going. The third sign is increased forgetfulness about recent events. Forgetting where you parked your car once in a while is normal, but if you're regularly forgetting things that happened just hours or days ago, it's time to pay attention. After 70, this kind of forgetfulness, called short-term memory lapses, can be an early clue that your brain's memory centers are under stress. Studies show that the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for forming new memories, is one of the first areas affected in cognitive decline. Imagine someone like Robert, a 73-year-old who used to have a sharp memory. Lately, he can't recall what he ate for breakfast or whether he took his medication yesterday. He thinks it's just part of getting older, but his family is starting to worry. What Robert doesn't realize is that his brain is struggling to store new information, a red flag for potential memory loss. Now compare that to his neighbor Ellen, also 73, who remembers details from recent conversations and keeps track of her daily tasks with ease. Ellen stays mentally active by learning new recipes, attending community events, and writing down important details in a planner. The difference is striking. Ellen's brain is getting the stimulation it needs to keep her memory sharp. Here's what's happening. When your hippocampus starts to weaken, it becomes harder to form and retain new memories, while older memories might still feel clear. This is why you might remember your childhood vividly but forget a phone call from yesterday. The good news is you can support your hippocampus with simple habits. Try keeping a daily journal to jot down what you did each day, or practice recalling recent events in detail, like what you discussed with a friend. Physical exercise, like walking, also boosts blood flow to the hippocampus, helping it stay healthy. If you're noticing more forgetfulness about recent events, don't wait. Start giving your brain the attention it deserves. If you're finding this helpful, comment number 3 below to let me know you're here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's talk about the next sign. The fourth sign is trouble with spatial awareness. Have you ever walked into a familiar room and felt momentarily disoriented, like you weren't sure where things were? Or maybe you've noticed it's harder to judge distances, like when parking your car or reaching for a glass on a shelf. After 70, changes in spatial awareness can be an early warning of memory issues. Research shows that the brain's parietal lobe, which helps you navigate and understand your surroundings, starts to weaken in the early stages of cognitive decline. This can make it harder to process spatial information, even in places you know well. Let's look at two women. Margaret, a 71-year-old, who started bumping into furniture or misjudging steps, and Susan, also 71, who moves through her home with confidence. Margaret notices she hesitates when climbing stairs or feels unsure about where the edge of a table is. She thinks it's just clumsiness. But what she doesn't know is that her brain is struggling to process spatial cues, a sign that memory networks are under strain. Susan, on the other hand, stays active with activities like dancing and gardening, which challenge her spatial skills. She navigates her environment with ease and rarely feels disoriented. The difference comes down to brain engagement. When your spatial awareness starts to slip, it's a sign that your brain's navigation system is weakening, which can precede memory loss. The good news is you can improve your spatial skills with practice. Try activities like drawing a map of your house from memory, playing games that involve navigation, or even taking a new route on your daily walk. These exercises strengthen the parietal lobe and keep your brain sharp. If you're noticing more clumsiness or hesitation in familiar spaces, don't ignore it. Start working on your spatial awareness today. Comment number 4 below to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Now let's talk about the final sign. And trust me, this one's a game changer. The fifth sign is changes in your sleep patterns. Sleep might seem unrelated to memory, but after 70, how you sleep can tell you a lot about your brain health. If you're waking up often during the night, struggling to fall asleep, or feeling unrested even after hours in bed, it could be a warning sign of memory issues. Studies show that poor sleep disrupts the brain's ability to clear toxins and consolidate memories, which can accelerate cognitive decline. Think about two men, Henry, a 75-year-old who tosses and turns most nights, and Bill, also 75, who sleeps soundly for 7 hours and wakes up refreshed. Henry's restless nights leave him foggy and forgetful during the day. He doesn't connect his sleep troubles to his memory, but what he doesn't realize is that his brain isn't getting the deep sleep it needs to stay healthy. Bill, on the other hand, prioritizes a consistent bedtime routine, avoids screens before bed, and gets morning sunlight to regulate his sleep cycle. His memory is sharp, and he feels energized. The difference is clear. Quality sleep protects Bill's brain, while Henry's poor sleep is putting his memory at risk. Here's what's happening. During deep sleep, your brain processes the day's information and clears out harmful proteins linked to memory loss, like beta amyloid. When sleep is disrupted, these processes are interrupted, increasing your risk of cognitive decline. The good news is you can improve your sleep with simple changes. Stick to a regular bedtime, avoid caffeine or heavy meals late in the day, and create a calming bedroom environment with dim lights and a cool temperature. If you're struggling with sleep, consider talking to a doctor to rule out conditions like sleep apnea, which can also affect memory. If you're noticing changes in your sleep patterns, don't brush them off. Your brain is telling you it needs help. Comment number 5 below to let me know you're here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us keep creating content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. We've covered 5 signs your body gives you before memory loss after 70, trouble with multitasking, difficulty finding the right words, increased forgetfulness about recent events, trouble with spatial awareness, and changes in your sleep patterns. These signs might seem small at first, but they're your body's way of telling you that your brain needs attention. The good news is that catching these signs early gives you the power to act. You don't have to sit back and wait for memory loss to take hold. You can take steps today to protect your mind and keep it sharp. Take a moment to reflect. Have you noticed any of these signs in yourself or someone you love? Are you struggling to juggle tasks, finding words slipping away, or forgetting recent events? Do you feel disoriented in familiar places or toss and turn at night? Whatever the case, the key is awareness. Once you recognize these signs, you can make changes to support your brain health. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these signs and take action today. Maybe you'll try a brain game to boost your multitasking, start a journal to improve word recall, or set a consistent bedtime to enhance your sleep. Even one small change can make a big difference over time. Your brain is your most precious asset, and it deserves your care and attention. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, and reading your comments gives us the motivation to keep going. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.